Hi everyone, it's Niamh here and welcome to my art journaling channel. Today we're going to be playing with the new mask sets from Dina Wakley and having lots of fun with some analogous colours in the background. So I didn't really know where I was going when I started this page. One of the things I like to do is just to add collage paper onto my background just to work out sort of helps me work out what I want to do. It's just a little quirk I have, I think. It's just to keep my hand moving while I'm trying to work out what I'm doing. So this is all the new collage tissue from Dina Wakley, her More Words set. I love text, so it's always, for me, something I love putting onto the background. And again, you could substitute anything you wanted to do this. You could see me flicking through my journal just then. I was trying to work out where that yellow was coming from, and I still have absolutely no idea where it's come from, because most of the stuff I use in my journal is acrylic paint, so it was reacting. That was odd. So I'm sure one day I'll find out the mystery. So once I've finished gluing everything down, I just then decided I was going to put some paint over the top. I'm starting off with some marine, and I have watered it down a little bit so it is more translucent. And I'm using this beautiful new stencil from Dina Wakley as well, which is called Flourish, and I just love it. It's not something I have to say I would have picked up off the shelf, but it's just so versatile, and I've been using it in so many different ways, and the curve of it just fits into the page really, really nicely. So once I dried off that first layer, I'm going back in with another colour. So I'm going in with olive this time, and olive's a really interesting colour because while it's quite green, it's also got those really beautiful yellow undertones, so it just sort of fits together really nicely. I'm doing the same thing as I did before. I'm putting on my paint, and then with my wet wipe I'm wiping it away so you can see what's coming through in the background, and you get this beautiful sort of layered effect or texture on the page. So once I had my two layers on, I actually really liked it, and I had some white space on my page, which was quite surprising. But I decided I wanted to put a little bit more focus in it. So I'm using these two masks, which I again knew. These are from the curly, I think the curly fronds or curly leaves, or curly branches. And it comes with the stencil and the mask. So for this technique, I'm using the mask. And basically what I'm doing is blocking out around the mask. So when I remove it like I've just have, you can still see the texture underneath. So it's just putting a little bit of colour over the top just to highlight that background that you've done. And it kind of seems counterproductive because you think you've done that beautiful background and now I'm hiding it, but it actually puts a focus on what you've done in the background, I find. So the colour I'm using to do that is Night, which is a really dark blue colour, and it I chose that because it works well with that marine and the olives on the page. It's an analogous colour. They sit next to each other in the colour wheel. If I'd used black, it would have been really, really stark on the page, and I think it wouldn't have blended in quite as well as I wanted it to. The other thing that I'm doing is just drawing around those two leaf stamps with my white paint pen. I'm being really, really sketchy with the paint pen. It's not neat at all, and you'll see that in the close-up, but the sketchier lines you've got, the more hand-drawn, I suppose, it makes it look. The other thing that I chose to do, because there was a little bit of a harsh outline at the bottom of the masks, was I actually extended some of that night colour out, so it sort of transitioned into the page a little bit more. And I liked how that, even though I really liked that little bit of white down the bottom, surprise, surprise, I found it better once I covered it up. But it did give me this opportunity to have a space where I could write a quote. And the quote is quite pertinent. So remember, your words can plant gardens, but they can also burn whole forests. Which, when you sort of reflect on what's happening in the world at the moment and how people are talking to each other and everything that's going on, it's really important for us to think about how we speak to each other and how we write to each other and the power that our words have. Something very simple when people are really stressed can really play on their mind and really hurt them. So it's always important to watch what we say. So I'm just going in, I've written sort of really loosely with my fine white pen. I'm just going back and just darkening it somewhat with the white pen. I did want it to be really fine. I didn't want anything too dark on this page. And now I'm going in with my fine black pen and putting a shadow on this. And this was really important to this page. It really popped the words out from the background, which is a bit hard to see on screen, especially with my head in the way. But in the close-up, you'll certainly see that tiny little bit of black around those letters just pushes them out from the background and makes them much easier to read in the whole piece, because it is quite dark and moody. But the words sort of tie in with that, I feel anyway. They certainly did what they needed to do on the day. So this is a close-up of the final piece. You can see all those textures and the colours in the background. Nothing's really, even though it's hidden, it's not really hidden, which is what I love about this redactive painting style. You can really put a focus on something but still have it naturally blend into the background of everything else. So I hope you have a go at playing with these stencils, or having a go at a similar technique in your art journal. It's so much fun. It's a great technique to do when your backgrounds are overworked and you're not sure what to do, just to calm it down and to put a focus on one edge of the page. Until next time, bye for now.